So I definitely want to start by saying thank you for all the positive feedback. I'm excited to know that all my efforts are helping people. This is exactly the idea I had, which is to share information or point people in the right direction based on my experiences or things that I've seen so far, and it's helping. I really want to see people connect together and just help each other out. Thank you again for that. I will continue to do so. Second is, a lot of people have asked me questions. If I haven't answered your question yet, I'm trying my best to send response. I try to first understand the person, the background, the experience, the question, and then reply accordingly. I don't just send random response, so it takes time. But I have an idea, which is to do live Q&A sessions. So I'm going to do live Q&A sessions probably starting from next week. But for that, I want to know how many of you would be interested in that. So leave a comment. Let me know if you would be interested in, connecting with me and doing a more interactive session before your, let's say, your master's in September or January, and we can do that so it will be more helpful, right? In this video, I'm going to talk about Stamp 4 visa. This is quite important if you're going to work in the country. It's a visa that lets you work for any employer without any restrictions straight away and without needing a work permit. So before I say anything, there are two things you need to know. One, in Ireland there's an immigration office, and second, there's an employment permit department. They're two different things, right? I'll tell you why you need to know. So when you enter the country as a non-EEA national, you need a stamp, a permit, which states you're eligible to be in the country. So first you go and register yourself with the GNIB office or the immigration's office. Immigration office will then issue you a card, which previously was called GNIB card. Now it is called IRP, Irish Residence Permit. So you'll get your IRP card. Once you get your IRP card, it basically states what stamp you're on and what's your eligibility around that stamp. If you don't know the different types of stamps in Ireland, check out my video where I've shared information about this. But once you get that, then you can live in the country. Now, when you find work and you need a work permit, that's when you send your application to the employments department. The employments department will issue you a work permit. So example, a critical skills work permit. Again, if you don't know what a critical skills work permit is, check out my video on that as well. Once you get your critical skills work permit, which is usually issued for 2 years, you go to the immigration's office, show your work permit, and then the immigration office will issue you a stamp 1 on your IRP, which will be for 2 years. So that's how it works. Now let's say you've got your critical skills, you've worked on that critical skills permit for 21 months. That's the eligibility for a Stamp 4 visa. So Stamp 4 visa, first requirement is you need to be on your critical skills work permit for about 21 months. That's when you can apply for a Stamp 4 visa. How do you apply for a Stamp 4 visa? Is you need to send an application to the employments department stating that you've worked in the country for 21 months on critical skills work permit, and now you're eligible for a Stamp 4 visa, and you need to apply for a Stamp 4 visa, right? So this application needs to go along with 3 documents. I've added a link in the description which has a form for the Stamp 4 letter application. Along with that, 3 documents that you need are, first, a letter from your employer. It just states that, for example, Parvez Mulani has worked with us for so and so months, starting from so and so date, and is working on a permanent contract, etc. Right? Just tells about you. Second, you need the 3 most recent payslips. Third is you need a P60 form. A P60 form is issued by the employer to you, which basically states your annual payments, taxes, etc. So all the details around your salary. Once you have those things, then you can submit the application along with these documents to the employment department. Once the employment department now then reviews your application, and if you're eligible, they will issue you a letter which states you're eligible for stamp 4 visa. You take that letter and then you go to the immigration office, the GNIB office, and then the immigration office will issue you a stamp 4 visa. How much time does it take for the employment permit department to issue you the stamp 4 letter? Is about a month. So in a month you'll get that letter, you go to the immigration office and you get a stamp 4. Once you have your stamp 4, you're eligible to work with any employer without any restrictions, and it's issued usually for 2 years. What happens next? Make sure you watch my other video in which I've explained the different visa types starting from student visa to citizenship, and you'll know a little bit from there. So that's pretty much it on the stamp 4 visa. If you've got any questions, leave a comment, and also let me know about the live Q&A sessions. We'll definitely do that, as I think it'll be quite valuable, and I look forward to meeting all of you in Ireland. Thank you.